There we go. Did you talk to LaBeouf? Or LaBeouf?
No.
Well, I showed you the video the last time I saw you.
Tell me what it was about. Remind me.
About how he got this close to me, screaming and yelling. I showed you the video. You've only watched one video.
Remind me what it was about, though.
It was about me filming with Officer Bell, and Live PD was there. And I had been there for about 10 minutes already filming, and then LaBeouf or LaBeouf, however you say it, came over and got this close, screaming at me. Remember I filmed his bald head? You really don't remember me?
HEB?
Yeah, at HEB.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, you said that you would have handled it differently and that you were going to talk to him.
So every, let's see, what was going on? I don't remember. I'll have to check.
Well, I sent you the video. You asked me to send you the video, and I did,
right.
but I never got a response from you.
I think I gave it to his chain. I'll check.
To what?
I think I gave it to his chain.
To his what?
Chain of command.
Oh, his chain of command. Okay. Well, I did want to make a further statement on it because I didn't mention this before, but everything I hear is always officer safety. So I'm going to approach it from that angle.
I'm going to get out and throw my crap.
Okay. Thank you.
Say.
Well, officers commonly talk about officer safety.
No, that's good.
Right?
Dangerous job.
Yeah, sure. And so I thought that I would approach the interaction from an officer safety standpoint. Now,
That day or was that during the day?
what?
Was that deal during the day or was it night?
It was at night, but okay,
So
which
you were gonna
is even
approach
more.
That deal for
No,
officers?
I mean the way I'm explaining why it wasn't right, the way he did it. Let's look at it from an officer safety standpoint. Okay,
Well,
here I
your
am.
expertise in that?
Well, I mean my opinion. Here I am,
Okay.
right, and then you're where Deputy Bell was, okay, and then LaBeouf comes from over there, okay. Now, if they're worried about me, okay, if they're worried about me, I was just like this with my, actually I had my coffee cup like this and I was holding my phone like this and I did have a cigarette in this hand, right? So now LaBeouf comes up and gets right here. Now my hand's down here. So if they're worried about me, Officer Bell can no longer see my hands. LaBeouf can no longer see my hands because he's looking here. I have a lit cigarette, okay, if they're worried about me, which they obviously really weren't, right? But, I mean, it's never good to close the distance if you're worried about officer safety.
Why would you say that?
Well, unless you're going to put hands on. I mean, if it's time to arrest, if you're going to grab somebody and arrest them, then obviously you have to close the distance. But
So
if you don't plan on that...
There's never a never, right?
Well, I would
Doesn't-
say if
so-
you're not going to go hands-on, then right there, like how, the distance we are right now, I mean, I can't reach you, right? So unless you're trying to put hands on me, you can see my hands if I move.
I'm not going to go through strategies and tactics with you.
No, I'm not asking you to respond. I'm just...
David, listen to me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through strategies and tactics with you. Every situation is different. Sometimes I may want to be very close to you. Sometimes I may not want to be very close to you. So it just depends. But everything's different. But that's
Well,
me. So, and
if
then
I
may-
wanted
and
to
then
hurt
I may
him-
do it a little bit different than the next guy. So don't make the assumption that you understand how safety is perceived in a particular person, right? Because it's always different with every situation, every person, every time. Right? Just like you may think it's
I know
different,
that if
there are
you're
no
right
absolutes.
there,
There are no absolutes.
if you're right there, you can see my hands. You can
what
see
difference
if I move them.
Okay.
And, you know, let's say that somebody has a gun, which I don't have a gun, right? But let's say that somebody has a gun. I do.
Right.
But let's say that somebody has a gun, right?
Okay.
And they get up really close and you get up really close to that person with the gun.
Right.
And their hands are down here.
Right.
Okay, all they got to do is that, and you don't even see
Did you
it.
see that in the movies, or where'd you see it?
Chief,
I'm just
you're
saying,
acting
man.
a little different than we've interacted
I know,
every
but
other
I'm just
time.
saying
Did
that-
something change?
You're trying to talk to me about safety. Don't
I'm
do
giving
that.
my opinion
All right, don't do that.
about you know, let's take it from an
You cannot
officer
train me
safety
on safety,
standpoint.
trust
I'm
me.
not trying to train you.
Yes, you are. You're
No,
trying
I'm
to give me
not.
an example of how I should
No, I'm
stand.
trying to make my complaint from an officer safety standpoint. I've already done it from the that's not the
You
way
don't know
you
what you're
treat the
talking
people
about,
standpoint.
but you don't know what you're talking about, David.
I don't.
No, you don't know what you're talking about.
Is that because why? How do you know I don't know what I'm talking
Because
about?
you've never done it.
Because I've never done what?
You've never done this job.
Well, I've
You've never
dealt
done
with
this job.
people, and
You
I
don't
know
know what
that
you're
if I
talking
get close to you, then I can't see your hands.
You don't know what you're talking about.
I don't.
No. You and I talk all the time, man.
Well,
But
we've
you and
talked
I
lots
have-
of times, and we've had
you-
good
you
conversations.
and I have
But
good
now it seems like
conversations, But now you're trying to get into an area that you don't know what you're talking about. So don't act like you do, right?
excuse me.
Don't act like you know what you're talking about, and don't try to manipulate this into something that's to your benefit. Now, troops are out trying to do it.
Nothing is to my benefit when gang members are approaching me and getting in my face, screaming and yelling, threatening to arrest me for no crime.
What gang was out there?
You're a gang. That's a gang patch on your.
Wow.
But you claim brown.
David.
You claim brown,
Hey, David, we are
Chief.
done talking.
Chief.
No, we're done talking.
All right.
We're not going to do that.
All right. You're still a gang member.
Just remember which one you call.
I would never call because the government does not protect. They only put chalk outlines. They only clean up the mess and then claim that they're the bravest.
That's true.
That's all they do. They don't prevent anything.
That's all.
They've never prevented one crime. Can you tell me one crime you've prevented?
All the government.
That is what the government does. All right.
David, I tried to have respectful conversation.
No, you didn't. You tried to say that I'm acting. You tried to say that I have no right to criticize you or to criticize one of your deputies because I've never done it. You tried to say I don't know what I'm talking about just because why? I've never done it. You said you were done talking to me.
See you later. All right, have a pleasure.
Master by the name of Bates, smoking more than all 50 states combined. Yeah, right, I gotta stay on the grind. I got no money, so my weed's on my mind. I hit the club, but you know I can't dance. 7 and 7 in my cutoff chance. Tie that shirt in my long ass hair. What part of how I look makes you think I care?